Is it time? It's time. What's up, boys? We back with the weekly analysis, with the market shenanigans. Let's fucking get it. As always, I'm gonna start with the last couple of weeks. I don't have a lot of trades. I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. So there's not gonna be that much analysis per se. I'm just gonna wing it, just gonna go with the flow, see how it feels. Maybe gonna coach myself on a few specific things. We'll see. I have absolutely no clue what's gonna happen. So let's go over here 2 weeks back. What happened? Followed rules. Cool, diagonal, horizontal, yeah, and patient. I've been doing that the last couple of weeks. That felt good. So I almost took a trade that didn't meet the E-micro rules. Yep, I always need to see the reaccumulation, the liquidation of a low for a bullish market to get into the entry. And I should have taken this trade over here. Yeah, I remember I cancelled because of this big sell-off over here. But actually, I think there was absolutely no need to do that because, well, the structure remains intact and this is still a higher low relative to this low. So that was completely fine. Plus 4.4 last week. Nice. The week after, just 2 trades. Same things went well and I slept in a little bit and missed one trade. I remember that. So that trade would have been a break even. So I ended up getting a loss instead of a loss and a break even. So that was cool as well. And that brings us to this week. So let's jump to Notion and check it out. Okay, so here we are, Monday. Nothing on the news. All I have here is my alarm for New York Open. And let's check out what markets I was actually following. So I was following AUD USD. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, this is a very strong push over here. On the daily, we have some kind of, congested area here. So stage 1, I would say, flat EMA 50. Actually, this is a MA 50. And then we have a big move out. A beautiful MMB over here pulling back into the rising EMAs. And now bouncing, moving higher. Definitely a market that I would watch. The momentum is there 100%. So I do like that. We have UK 100. This has been a hot contender for a very long time. Super strong trend on the daily. The moving averages are still rising. The momentum cycle is intact. It's getting a little bit choppy here, but in my opinion, still very fine. I mean, we're gonna see the momentum on the lower time frames, right? If the lower time frames are choppy, I'm not gonna trade them. Easy as that. But this in general is a good spot to look for bullish trades. And JPN 225, similar story to UK and all the other indices kinda. Of course, these are the stronger ones. Here we had a stage 1 breakout, stage 1 again, and now strong breakout. Small little pullback. Definitely looking like a valid MMB to trade. So if some money came in on the lowers, I would trade that as well. So definitely good. And I say it looks like a no trade day. And a no trade day it is. Okay, let's go to Tuesday. Some news. Nothing too relevant. Some cat stuff. Okay. Only 2 markets on my watch. Once again, AUD USD. Let's look at the daily. So yeah, I mean, definitely some money needs to come in. Like on the 1 hour, we probably have some kind of wave down here and we are waiting for it to start going sideways and then eventually break out. But it's good enough to watch. And UK 100, it's moving right as we speak. So this is definitely a hot contender for the day. UK 100 looks decent, needs to pull back a bit though. Okay, yeah, that's probably like the push that we see on the daily. But ends up being a no trade day. Cool. Next up, Wednesday. Again, UK 100 here. So we can see from last day, UK 100 actually ended up going higher. Very nice, but I didn't get any entries. That's cool. That happens a lot. No problem. And we also have Dirt 30 over here. And I remember. So if I'm not mistaken, I have 2 trades this weekend. I think they are both on Dirt 30. Maybe I'm mistaken, I'm not sure. But I remember I thought, hey, it's probably a good idea to wait for the daily to close bullish above all of these wicks and stuff as proof that it wants to go higher. that would indeed be a very good idea and proof that it wants to go higher. Actually, let me open TradingView. I want to check J30 real quick just to see what was going on here. Because I'm thinking whether I should have done that or not. Because I ended up not doing it, of course. So, let's see if it's actually recording it. Yeah. OBS is recording the wrong thingy. Or is it? Yeah, it is. Okay, so here we are. J30. And let's go to the 1 day over here. Okay. So here, that's the kind of close that I was looking for. Yep. So I would have only started trading after that all the way over here. Maybe that was the better way to go about it, but I actually end up trading this push already, which we will see. And I'm not sure if that's the right way to do it or not. Like, I think it's not bad at all. Like, it made a lot of sense to do that. But maybe it was better to actually wait for the reaccumulation of that push, and that's something that we would have right now, yeah? Because here, this would be the diagonal, this would be the horizontal, and as we broke out over here, this would be where I started following. So these trades would not even be considered. I'm not entirely sure if I need that or not. I have considered this one new rule where I would basically always wait for a bullish daily close before I would even consider trading the next day. I think that could be really good. I'm gonna look more into that. But yeah, basically it's all just to avoid price action where price looks like it's breaking out, but it ends up being a fake out. So yeah, that's something that I still want to look into. Anyway, I ended up following J30 here, but maybe, just maybe, it was a little bit too early. Okay, so that's that. UK 100 and J30 look decent. I was stalking this whole move, but no entries for me. Okay, let's see this. Okay, this is UK 100. Yep. So here, beautiful example, right? There was a stage 1 and it broke out, and ever since this candle over here, I was following this on the 1 minute. So I was following this move. It went higher, higher, higher. Then as it started pulling back, I had my diagonal and horizontal. This was not a valid entry because there was no reaccumulation on the E micro, which would be the 10-second, right? So I could not enter this. So I followed here, was looking for a potential entry, nothing here either. So this is something that ultimately will happen so many more times. So many more times. Simply, there is no opportunity in the presented push. And that's something I need to get used to. This is not something to feel emotional about or feel like I missed out. Simply, the opportunity was not there. A move happened. Guess what? Moves happen every fucking day. And that doesn't mean that we need to be part of them, right? So, yeah, just wanted to note that down here. And if anything, it's a testament to the patience. I actually think that's very good. But I do end up having 2 trades here on J30, so let's check them out, I guess. So I already talked about J30 potentially not being in the best spot in the higher time frames, but we'll see how it looks on the EVC or EVBC, blah, 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 whatever, you get it. So here we are. We have a bullet, this is a 4-hour, not like it matters, but we have a big bullish push. And we do have a reaccumulation, right? It goes down quite deep. So what I'm expecting is some kind of stage 1 and a breakout out of there. So once again, diagonal, horizontal. Diagonal breaks out pretty much here, but that's not interesting at all because we already have proof that there is a sell wall right over here. There are sells. Sells are over here. So I'm definitely not reacting over here. I did react over here, but that ended up being just a fake out. And maybe that could have been some kind of sign to me that I should probably wait for a bigger breakout, but I decide to already follow here. I'm like, okay, this was a fake out, but here, potentially, the strength might be there. So I decide to follow. Once again, I am gonna say it, maybe I will simply wait for the daily to break out. And here the daily is really kind of arbitrary. What matters is how the time frame is relative to the reaccumulation itself. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's go to here one more time. Let's go to the daily. Okay. So here, I mean, I feel like it's kind of, let me grab a highlighter or something. I think the daily is kind of nice in terms of capturing the reaccumulation itself. The 4 hour is a little bit, it's a little bit too big, you know, like a 4 hour breakout and even a candle close relative to all of this action over here is not as strong of a confirmation. But maybe even like something like a 3-day. 3-day is a bit too compressed. 2-day looks decent, but I would say the daily looks really nice. Like from what I'm used to seeing, the daily here looks good. And here I'm really just shuffling the time frames. What really matters is like the momentum cycle itself, right? So here we have that push. We want to see it fail below the EMAs, and then we want to see it break out, right? So as always, like when it comes to these high time frames, and especially with the diagonal and horizontal rules, I need to shuffle the time frames around and find the appropriate time frame that shows me the reaccumulation in the best kind of setting, so to say, through the best kind of lens. And here I really think that the daily was the right thing to look at. Let's check a bit lower on the 12 hour. If it was the 12 hour, then yeah, I would probably follow here as well. But already, this is a bit too stretched. I really think the daily was nice. So maybe I could have simply waited for the breakout candle. I didn't. Whatever. So that's just something to note for me. But let's see what actually happened here. So on the lower time frames, right, we have the 6 minute. Big strong push, started reaccumulating. I get my diagonal, I get my horizontal, I get a big ass breakout and a pullback into the rising 1020. That pullback ends up liquidating some lows as well, which is very important to me. And here, this was my entry. Well. Let me see that on the 10-second as well. Okay, so first of all, it does have a reaccumulation here, so that's nice. That rule is met. But it does look a little bit meh. I don't know. It looks a little bit congested. Mainly, I usually want to see a strong breakout candle from both the horizontal and the diagonal, right? This kind of candle over here is what I'm looking for. And I did get it, but I only got it for the horizontal level. I didn't quite get it for the for the diagonal level. So if there was a breakout candle like that over here, now that would be interesting. Yeah, to be honest, to be completely honest, I don't like this trade too much. I feel like I forced it. Let's see what I say about it in the Notion. Okay, so nothing said really. I just say reduced risk over here, which makes total sense. I mean, floating supply was liquidated, right? So I reduce risk. I keep the 0.1 R risk running just to give it a tiny little bit more space for the pullback. That's what I usually do. And I end up with a 0.1 R spread loss. Okay. Honestly, I don't like this trade. And ultimately, the question in batch analysis is, if I could take this trade right now, would I take it? The answer is no. So I'm gonna mark this up as a mistake. And a mistake why? Well, let me find this. I'm gonna say it's a mistake, and why not? Honestly, I think the high time frame was not ready, so I'm gonna say too early. What else do I have here? High time frame, maybe still part of stage 1. High time frame stage 1. Do I have anything like that? I'm not sure. I'm just gonna say stage 1 here. And honestly, the impulsivity of the breakout here was not very strong either. So I'm gonna call it weak. So quite a lot wrong with this trade. Definitely feel like I forced it. It's a bit unfortunate. So don't have to write that down here. I think I forced this trade. High time frame should have waited for a 1-day close. and I'm actually gonna put a screenshot in here. Let's replay this real quick to over here, because it does end up closing, and this would be here, it would be okay. So as you can see, this is where it closes, and that's already after all of these trades. Yep. And I'm also gonna say that it wasn't as impulsive as I would like. So one more screenshot real quick. Boom. Also, the breakout candle is not really strong. Should not have followed. Alright, there we go. So a bit unfortunate to see that I'm making these mistakes, but honestly, it's fine. It's all a learning experience, right? And I did stick to my horizontal and diagonal rules, which are supposed to filter these kind of things out. But there is still this heavy nuance, or very important nuance, that I do need the strong breakout out of these levels, right? Out of the horizontal and diagonal. And I guess when I saw this candle over here, I was like, oh, okay, we are getting a strong breakout. But it's not enough. Like, just the fact that there is a big order or a big candle still underneath some kind of resistance means absolutely nothing, okay? I need a strong breakout over here as well. So, yeah, something to keep note of. I'm gonna say breakout not strong enough. That's something new, and I might need to redo these a little bit. Redo these mistake thingies, because a lot of these I don't use anymore, especially with these new horizontal diagonal rules. A lot of these become obsolete, but new ones become very much important. And one of the most important ones, the one thing that I can still fuck up while following horizontal diagonal rules, is following breakouts that are not strong enough. Yes, there is a candle that that broke out and closed above, but this is not a strong candle. What is this? This is weak. This is very, very weak. Let me actually make a comment here as well regarding that. How do I do that? Isn't there something like a little drawing that I could use? I think there used to be something like that. Sticky note, text. Ugh. Alright. Nothing like that here, so I guess I'm just gonna use a small sticky note. Okay, breakout candle is weak. Alright, let's put that in here. Okay, so this trade ultimately is a mistake. But it's a valuable mistake. It's something that I have not seen before, and something that I definitely took notes of, and I will pay attention to it and try my best to not make that happen again. Alright, that was a bit long, but very, very much important. So, here we go. Let's go into the next trade and what has happened here. So, initially we were trading over here, right? That's where I took the first trade, and here it continues going higher. And by no means is that something that I should not enter, right? And this is a little bit of a weird trade as well. Like, okay, so this is a stage 1, nice. It continues higher and it pulls back into the rising 1020. Ah, I see, this is J30, so I can actually trade this on the 10 second. Makes sense. So here I am on the 10 second, right? Okay, so I have the diagonal. Do I have a horizontal? Well, the horizontal would probably be over here, I would guess. Yeah, it would. It also lines up with previous support. Yeah, this looks fine. And here it breaks out, and this is nice. This is a big candle, and this makes sense following. It's also below the floating supply, so this looks kinda alright. I don't mind it. So I entered this. This is okay, but here I remember this. So it breaks out, it comes back, and here I was considering, hey, should I reduce risk here or not? I wanted to see just a tiny little bit more, just a tiny bit more, to give me proof that it actually wants to go and that it's not just a liquidation. But there is an argument to be made that I could have reduced risk already. You know, I could have reduced risk here already, yeah, because the floating supply gets liquidated, but because the entry was so close to it, I decided not to and give it a chance. So when I did this, I really thought, hey, there is still a chance this is gonna go higher. And it does, and I don't reduce risk. So I actually think risk should have been reduced here, no matter what. Like, this has done everything it needs to do to continue. This could have just done a little bit something like this and continued higher. At least reduce risk to here. Don't reduce risk completely to here. Give it a little bit of a chance. Yeah, I should have reduced risk here. I remember being a little bit in doubt, being not sure. And whenever I'm not sure, that's already a little bit iffy, right? Like, I should be completely sure about everything that I'm doing, especially on the lower time frames where I have super small amounts of time to actually make these decisions. But looking back at this, I should have reduced risk here, 100%. And the trade itself is pretty good. I do not mind this trade. This is okay. Even if I decided that this is my my horizontal level, this is a good enough breakout, I think. Yeah, this is good enough. So if this ended up being just a redistribution, it would have liquidated this high and fucked off lower, right? Instead, it bounces, creates a higher low, and this was good. So the trade itself, once again, I would have ideally skipped it because of the high time frame. I think the high time frame was not quite ready. But here, I think I should have just reduced risk. What do I write here? I considered reducing risk here, but now I need to see a little bit more. Yep, this is on the 1 minute where I show it. This is a wick. Yeah, so usually I like to see a big bodied candle. But if it went this far already, the fact that it got pushed back down again should be proof enough to me that I should not be in this market. There's just too much supply. Like, why is this happening? I gave it one chance where it happened, and I gave it another chance. That's all. Like, I should be done here. Okay? Come on, no way you're giving me a double fake out of the highs like that. Come on, bruv. Motherfucker. Yeah. Okay. So, definitely should have reduced risk here. Let me see. So, this is a mistake. I should have something with risk here. Yep, didn't reduce risk. Cool. So, this is a mistake. Oh, man. 2 trades, 2 mistakes. Not too happy about that. Also, the high time frame was kind of not ready. High time frame not ready. I'm gonna use this one. As I said, I'm gonna have to redo these a little bit. I'm also gonna use that in the previous one. Remove the stage 1 here. And say high time frame not ready. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Yep, there we go. Definitely should have reduced risk. Okay. And if I reduced risk, this would be just a point minus 0.2. So could have prevented a loss, but it is what it is. Okay, no reflection here, nothing like that. Okay, let's mark this up as a mistake. Boom. Let's put this in here. Yo, what? Okay, let's do this. Boom. Should have reduced risk. Okay. And also put these in here. High time frame not quite ready. Okay, high time frame not quite ready. Cool. So the problem here was that from the very beginning, as I was doing these contacts, I guess I should not have put this under context for following, because this is the root cause of it all, right? If I didn't put JER30 on the list here with the weekly daily view, I would not have traded it. So once again, I'm gonna actually make the screenshot here. Boom. Okay, because I'm gonna put it in here because I need to copy this. What went well, what went bad, blah blah blah, right? And here as I go, what went well. What went bad. I put JER30 on the context. while it wasn't quite ready. Boom. And I'm gonna put the picture of it over here. Yo, what is this? Whoops. Okay. Boom. There we go. Put that over here. Nice. So I can see it. Let's draw the lines here as well, I guess. So we have this line, right? And then we have this line. And this is not closed yet. So let's put thingy here. Candle is not closed yet. Okay. Boom. So just gonna put that here right away. And what else went bad? I traded one thing. One breakout was not strong enough. I need strong breakout candles out of both diagonal and horizontal. Boom. There we go. Let's make a little screenshot of that. I think that was the first trade over here. Yep, it was. Boom. Alright, and put that over here. So I have it on my eyes. Cool. So my results this week, actually let's finish the week first. Although there's nothing much to finish. So no reflection, no nothing, that's fine. So Thursday, this is gonna be a no trade day for sure. Yep, I don't even fill out things because everything looks trash. And Friday, UK 100, only one looking decent, so let's check it out. Yep, it does look decent. This is most definitely in an area where it can continue higher. No problem with that, but no trade whatsoever. So that's cool. So let's go to the analysis and let's go to trades taken. So I'm down 1.5. Minus 1.5, and had I traded perfectly, well, it's not quite going to show. But yeah, actually, had I traded perfectly, I would be at 0. Yeah, 0 if perfect, because I would literally not trade. And if I at least reduced risk at the right time, I would be down just what? I would be down minus 0.3 and minus 0.2, so minus 0.5 instead of 1.5. Okay, I also need to fill that out. I totally forgot. Should have reduced risk. Let's put that in here. Actually, I can just do this. Yep. Didn't reduce risk properly. Boom. Make it a little bit smaller here. Okay. So, only 2 trades, but quite a bit of mistakes. Alright, so I guess what I need to talk a little bit about is patience, once again. So even though I am being fairly patient these days, and I'm really waiting for nice contexts all the way from the weekly and the daily, there are still things that I can mess up. And one of them, and that's probably the most important one, is I need to be super selective with what I put into my context fields. What I mean by that is these fields over here, because this is the first thing that is going to define for me what I am valid to trade on any given day. And honestly, as I said before, I need to repeat it to myself. This candle close rule is amazing, and I really want to prevent all kinds of fake outs and whatnot by sticking to this rule. And J30 was simply not ready. So if I take a look here, here it is. This was not ready. Yes, it was breaking out, but hey, it was breaking out here as well previously, and look what happened. So chances are it's gonna happen again. But if it closes like this, then I have no problem. I can follow it the next day, right? It's gonna close at midnight or whatever. It's gonna go through Asia, maybe pull back a little bit, and then I can, you know, get involved somewhere over here. No problem. But this, I already have proof that there are so many like cells in this area over here. It got pushed down, right? So chances are it's gonna get pushed down again. There's a lot of supply in the market. So yeah, not the best. Not the best, but at the same time, it's good to see that it's a very very easy mistake to not do in the future. You know, simply stick to the candle close rules even on the daily or the weekly, and everything should be fine. So that's one thing. Yeah, this is a new one. It has not happened to me yet. Usually I follow these breakouts and they were really good. The horizontal diagonal took care of it, but I still need to pay attention to this. I still need to wait for the strong breakouts. I can draw it here, for example. And hey, if it happens to be a strong breakout that goes above the floating supply and makes it so that I cannot trade this pullback, so fucking be it. It's no problem. So there was no opportunity. That happens all the fucking time, and I need to get used to it. Taking a trade, forcing a trade where there is no opportunity in terms of my tested rules is just a random trade and therefore a gamble. And I don't want to be gambling. So yeah, obvious here. And this one is like, yeah, looking back, I think it's a mistake, but it's like the least wrong out of all of them. I think this can happen. It's a gray area. I'm like, I would just like to see just one more little candle and I would reduce risk. It didn't show, but it's all right. Like, this isn't too bad. These two are bad. These two are really bad. I need to ensure that I get into the right markets. So yeah. And when it comes to patience in general, what I have noticed is that sometimes we can be patient for a very long time, but eventually it just catches up to us. And even after, like, let's say weeks of being solid and following rules, we end up in a position, in some kind of gray area position, and we talk ourselves into trading something that was not supposed to be traded. Ultimately, the impatience and the FOMO catches up to us a little bit, even after a very long time, and it makes us make a mistake. That kind of stuff can happen, and it's completely natural. It's part of the growing process and part of the journey of becoming a trader and a master of our own rules and ourselves, most importantly. And there's no need to, like, shame myself and punish myself over it. No, all I need to do is write it down, be completely honest with myself, say, hey, this is where I fucked up, this is what I want to be doing differently from now on. And I have done that. I have these rules now here. I will read through it, I will check myself, and I will maybe even go over these instructions and change them, because I haven't looked at these for a very long time, and honestly, I have them completely instilled. I don't need to look at this stuff anymore. So maybe I need to do some new stuff. Maybe I'll do that right now, you know? Okay, let's do it right now. So what kind of mistakes am I doing these days? Don't sleep in? I guess so. Okay, let's see. So number one. Pay extra attention to what assets pay extra attention to what asset you put into the context watch list. This determines which markets are valid to trade. Okay, so this is the number one thing for sure. If I followed that, I would not have checked J30. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna paste it here as well, so that I can see it. Why not? No problem. I'd like to see this every time, and I can see, okay, this was not good. I can click on it and be like, okay, candle is not closed yet. Make sure it is closed. Cool. Ensure, wait. I'm just gonna write strong breakouts out of both horizontal and diagonal. Boom. And I'm gonna draw something here. I'm just gonna draw it. So if I have some kind of market, let's make it a little bit thicker so it's nice. If I have some kind of strong market, that decides to reaccumulate, right? Like this, for example. I'm gonna have my diagonal and I'm gonna have my horizontal, right? And I'm gonna need a strong ass breakout over here. Okay. How else can it look like? It can also look like, okay, I can have this strong market once again, and I can simply have a diagonal that goes something like this, and then has a strong breakout. Okay, that was a little bit too far. Okay, what else can happen? Well, here, this is just a diagonal, and the horizontal is almost invisible, right? It's somewhere in there. How else can this manifest? Well, I guess that's it, really. So, let's do this. Okay, boom. The candle close is my trigger to follow. Okay. Cool. Anything else? Anything else? I'm gonna copy this so I can see what is actually wrong. Okay, let's put this below. Maybe I could do no. Boom. Slash call. I can't. This looks a little bit weird. I don't like this too much. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I just deleted this, right? Yes, I just deleted this. Let's return it. And let's actually put this next to each other. Let's zoom into it like this. And let's simply take a screenshot with these things next to each other. So I have it right next to each other. Alright, that's nice. Yep, I do like that. Okay, so this is what I need to see. I need to see the context thingies, boom, and I need to see the strong candle close as a trigger to follow. Cool. Anything else? What kind of mistakes did I do in the past? Slept in, alright. Almost didn't meet E micro rules, okay, whatever. Didn't reduce risk, okay. Okay, traded some wiki markets. Entered too early? What's this? Yeah, well, there's absolutely no breakout here. Okay, whatever. And here, I think I didn't even have the diagonal, and yeah, here I entered some fake outs. That goes hand in hand with the candle closes. Okay. Okay. Yep, that's it. That's it. I'm not even sure if I need this section anymore. What to focus on? Good context. Candle. Close. Breakout. Strong. Candle close breakouts. Yep, that's it. Alright. Anything else to talk about? I don't think so. Let's also go over what went well, because that's important overall. Followed rules. Well, I did follow a lot of rules, but certain things were not well refined, I would say. This week is definitely a refinement week with the context and all of that. So what went well? I was still extremely patient. Like overall in this week, I only traded a single day. So patient, definitely. Sticking to diagonal and horizontal rules, yes, I did stick to those. So that's kind of nice. And I did follow rules, but I'm gonna remove this for now. The diagonal and horizontal, yes, I stick to those and I was patient. That's nice. But ultimately, this is what went bad this week. So I really need to take this as a learning experience, need to ensure that that I see this over and over, which I ensured over here. I'm gonna see that every fucking week now, every fucking day. So yeah, should be fine. And this is really cool. I recommend everybody do this. Like, this is a synced block, so whenever I create my next week worksheet, I will have this visible there. It's a synced block across everything, so this is always the same. This way I ensure that I will see it. I could have it on my background or whatever, but this is what I pay attention to, my worksheet, every single day. So you can see it's synced across 34 other pages in all of these. So yeah, definitely did the right thing here, ensuring my future success by being extremely honest with myself, ensuring that I can see these mistakes and making sure that I don't do them again. So that's it. Much longer video than I expected, especially since I only have 2 trades, but this was really necessary because, well, it's valuable feedback for me. Something happened this week that hasn't happened in a very, very long time, and I didn't quite have rules around it, but now I do, and it should not happen again. So I'm very happy with that. Okay, how long is it? 41 minutes. Peace out.